Hello, my divine folks. It's your girl Nerese, back with another video. Now, just a quick note before we get into the actual video. So, I recorded this video mad long ago. So, if I make old ass references, bear with me. I recorded this the same time I did the review for Break My Soul, which was like in September. So, fall was just starting a few months ago. And I was hesitant on posting this video because for some reason I saw online that Church Girl was supposed to be the next single. And I was like, okay, hold on. I thought Cuff It was the next single, but apparently I'm wrong. So let me just not post it and y'all come for me like that ain't the right single. But then I was right anyway, which is usually the case. So yeah, but then like Cuff It became this big song. And I still stand by what I said in the video. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to post it. And as of today, the Grammys were this weekend that passed. And Beyonce won Best R&B Song for Cuff It. So congrats to B for that. And with that said, this is the Cuff It review. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If this place is your vibe, let me know. And enjoy. Much love to you. It's your girl Reese, and enjoy the rest of this video. With that said, we can segue into Cuff It. Now, here's the thing. So the first time I heard Cuff It was on the album, and it just was announced that Cuff It is going to be the next single. Today actually, I believe, and Beyonce made a post on Instagram where she like did a thread of a bunch of people who did like dance videos to Cuff It, and you know, and it's dope that she be keeping her eyes and ears to streets, like she really be on these, you know, Twitter interwebs, like watching us be heathens online talking about her records. And you know, and I'm not surprised that Cuff It is a single, because when I first heard it, it gave me like, oh, this is like such a commercial type of record, you know. And at first, it's not that I didn't like the song. I liked it because it's like upbeat, it's fun, it's you know, it's got this groove, this funk vibe to it. My only thing, which I felt a way about like several songs on the album, but it's not so much of a problem, it was just like something that I noticed, was that I felt like a lot of the records sounded like something that I had already heard. And not in a bad way, because I mean, of course, like those are genres, like she tapped into genres that's already been existing, so of course it's going to sound like something that we've already heard. But I feel like when I first heard Cuff It, my first reaction was like, oh, this sounds like, or it reminds me of, it doesn't sound like, but it reminds me of Lizzo's record About Damn Time. And you know, and kind of like the music that Bruno Mars has been coming out with lately, especially with like Silk Sonic, like that old school funk, 70s groove type of thing. And you know, and that's been really popular lately. And you know, and of course, like if anybody's gonna do it, it should be Beyonce, because she's gonna, you know, all these songs sound good because she on that hoe, and she ain't lying, you know. But that was like my first thing when I first heard the record. I was like, okay, this sounds like that Lizzo song. At least that's what I first thought. I was like, okay, I can hear this being, you know, mixed in a DJ set right after About Damn Time, and then them going to Cuff It, you know, or you know, or Smoking Out the Window, and then it go into Cuff It. So, and you know, it wasn't a song that grasped me at first, and mainly because it sounded so much like a single. It sounded like a single, you know. I'm like, okay, I can hear the sync licensing with this. I can hear this on commercials. I can see this playing in the movie scene, like a dance scene, and this is in the background and people are dancing to this. Like, you know, I can see the sync licensing with this record just off of how it sounds. And a lot of times I can pick that out with songs. And usually songs like that, I usually like don't really listen to a lot, because I know it's potentially going to be a song that I'm going to hear everywhere. You know, there's few songs like that where I don't mind if it's kind of like everywhere, like Crazy in Love. Love that song. And it was a huge single. It was a huge hit. And it was like in a bunch of movies. It was, you know, it was like the soundtrack of 2003, you know, and going into 2004. And I didn't mind because the song was a bop and I enjoyed it, you know, but like those like you just heard it everywhere. And I was fine with it. And Cuff It, I was like, you know, when I first listened to it, I was like, okay, it reminds me of that Lizzo song. I know this song is like, it's single potential. It gives me single vibes. So if this were to be the next single, I wouldn't be surprised, you know. But everybody was talking about like Alien Superstar. And that was another song that kind of had to grow on me at first, because at first, we're not going to get into Alien Superstar here yet, okay? But that was another song where I was like, okay, I wouldn't have initially expected that to be a single, but because so many people received it well and everybody was posting Alien Superstar, I thought, okay, if I can guess what the next single would be, I would say either Cuff It, Alien Superstar, and I'm trying to think what, honestly, maybe even, it wasn't my initial thought, but maybe even Pure Honey, just because Beyonce has been using that a lot with some of the promo. Like when the album first came out and she dropped like a mini little teaser of her in the hallway and everything, like Pure Honey's playing in the background. You know, so I'm like, okay, is this kind of like teasing something? But I don't think she would be that obvious, you know. But anyway, as far as Cuff It as a song, it's a good song. It's a great song. Now Rogers is on this record playing the bass, I believe. And, you know, and the great thing about this album is that she was able to, you know, tap different legends and just people who are like heavy hitters in the game to help her create this record. And what's so amazing is that Beyonce is at a point in her career where she's in her 40s, yet she's still dropping music and still relevant and still can get people excited as if she were, you know, in her prime. And she's in a space where she can afford to really make the art that she wants to make. Like from her tours, she can afford the huge production. She can afford the big screens and the dancers and the costumes and dancing in the water and the flames and all of that stuff, and can afford to sell out stadiums, you know, not even arenas, stadiums, you know. Jay-Z said, tell the NFL we in stadiums too. I feel that, you know. So she's in a point in her career where a lot of artists and a lot of her peers would have like kind of like not fell off, but would decline after reaching their peak in their youth. But she just keeps getting bigger, you know, and it's amazing to watch. So, you know, it's dope that she's able to collaborate with pretty much anybody and literally be able to get like Grace Jones on her record. But that's a whole nother conversation. We're going to talk more about that in the album review. You know, Cuff It has grown on me. Now that the album is out and I've heard these songs a million times on IG, I never disliked Cuff It though. So let me just make that clear. I never disliked Cuff It. I just had certain opinions about her. I was like, oh, okay, all right, that reminds me of this. Okay. And you know, I had certain other songs that were like my favorites. And Cuff It just wasn't one of those songs. But it's still a good song though. It's a great song. You know, it just wasn't a song that I gravitated towards first. But now, when I hear it, do a little, hey, we gon' light up the night, spaceship fly, fly, and her harmonies throughout this whole thing is everything. So, you know, the structure of the song is amazing. I love the harmonies. I mean, Beyonce will stack some harmonies, honey, okay? And even if it's not harmonies, like, she's really great at stacking her vocals, and you really hear that with this song. And it's just a fun record. It's fun, it gets you grooving, it gets you dancing, and it's a feel-good vibe. So, like, don't get me twisted, okay? Twisted, I'm contradicted. Nice on his lips, I lick it. Okay, sorry, I just it just, I don't know, it just comes, it just comes, it just comes. But you know, I do think it's a great record. I think it's a great song, and it's something, it was a song that grew on me, and I do really like Cuff It. So, and I'm not surprised that it's a single. Like I said, it initially, when I first heard it, I was like, it gives me commercial vibes. It gives me, the sync licensing is about to go crazy. She about to get her bag off of the sync licensing alone. For those who don't know what sync licensing is when you license your song to be played in a movie or in a commercial, and you get paid every time it gets, you get paid every time your song gets played on the radio. Well, not just the radio. Radio is like radio sales, but like when it gets played through commercials and movies and, you know, and films and stuff like that. And, you know, when I heard that song, I was like, I hear this in somebody's movie. I hear this on somebody's commercial. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was the next single. And I was right. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I should have said that in the beginning, but we're going to say it now. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this page. You know, if you feel in House of Divinity, if you love these types of breakdowns, let me know. If you want to argue with me in the comments about my opinion, go for it. You know, send it to your friends, cuss me out in the comments if you want to, whatever, that's fine. Actually, no, come with a little respect. You know, I mean, you ain't gotta agree with me, but come correct. But you know, share this, like, comment, turn on your notifications, because when I talk about the review of the whole album, we gonna really get into some things. So make sure you do that. You know, I do have my Divine merch going on right here. You know, I got the hats. So for the Divine friends and family, if you want to rock the Divine merch, we got some dope stuff, especially because on the East Coast, fall, I mean, it's going to be fall everywhere, but on the East Coast, you really feel it because it's starting to get chilly and all that. We got hoodies, okay? And let me tell you something. These hoodies are so soft. And I was very adamant about that because the first time I started doing like drop shipping and stuff like that, I was just winging it, figuring it out. And my first group of like t-shirts was like a little bit rough, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, me as a consumer, I love soft materials. I like stuff that feels comfortable, stuff that I would actually wear regardless of the fact that I'm trying to sell it. You know, because I'm an entrepreneur and an artist, and you know we gotta get the prosperity flowing. But this time around, with the experience that I had, I was very adamant about making sure the products that I had were good, and I had samples for at least a year before I even released the collection. So I was sitting on these designs for a while before I even had these out. So that's how you know I'm really putting time and care and integrity and love into the products before I give it to you all. So be sure to check out the website and get you some Divine merch, especially the hoodies. They're so soft and it's not too heavy, it's not too light. It's going to keep you nice and snug, especially going into the fall. And if you want to layer it up, you know what I'm saying, there's ways you can jazz it up, dress it up, or you know, you could just be on your chill your cozy vibes, you know what I'm saying. If you want to be cozy, comfortable in your skin, make sure you get Divine Femme. I don't know, I was trying to make a bar out of that. Either way, check out the merch. And we also got mugs too, so I know y'all want to be sipping your tea and your hot cocoa and your coffee in this season, or your pumpkin spice. You know, when you sip your pumpkin spice, you want to be sipping out of a cup that's nice. Get your Divine mugs, okay? Okay.